I've been daily driving my 1-ton swap Toyota Tacoma for the last 3 months, and I love it. But there is a few things that I've learned to hate.
Brought to you in part by Alpine Toyota.
So most of the stuff on this list is stuff related to the build specific that I can easily fix. But to start off, let's talk about the things we can't fix, the things that are platform related with this Tacoma. Starting with the viewing angle from the driver's seat. When we're coming up hill climbs or going over obstacles, the hood and front fenders of this thing are so big, it's so hard to look over. So you're constantly doing one of these, and it doesn't really help. Not only is it difficult to see over the hood, this thing is just so freaking wide that it's kind of tight in some of these like bush road trails, specifically like the quad trails and stuff we like to run in these smaller Toyota pickups.
And because of how big it is and how hard it is to turn, it's so hard to take it through parking lots and through drive-thrus. I can't take it to work because my parking lot at work is so small.
Now, we're not saying you can't do it.
I am a little dramatic, it's fine.
It's just a pain in the butt to, go through drive-thrus and park this thing. We always tend to park in the very back of parking lots where nobody else is parked. But it's manageable. And next up is steering. In BC, you can't really have any tire poke at all. So I went for absolute minimum offset on these rims. And because I had to do that, my tires actually rub on the lower links, severely limiting my turning radius. This thing turns like an actual freight train. The suspension in this thing is so soft and so smooth that tends to translate into a bit of body roll. And by a bit, I mean a fair bit of body roll. And as far as like platform related issues with this thing, that's really it. I love everything else about this truck. Its wheelbase, its track width, its height, everything seems to be dialed like pretty much where you'd want it on a truck like this. And now to move on to the things that I don't like that we can easily change, starting with this horrendous front bumper. I know some of you guys like it, and I know a lot of you guys hate it, and I'm on the hating it side of things. It's so big, it's so ugly. I'd like it to be tighter, higher, and sturdier. Like this thing is, well, it's just cheap Chinese steel. It is what it is. It works for now, but it is definitely on the list to get replaced. The front and rear axles that are in this thing are from an F350. And something I don't like about the Dana 60 that came from the F350 are these cheap like plastic hubs. The internals are made of plastic, the outside it's plastic, it's cheap, and I've broken 2 already. However, it's super easy to remove and replace on the trail. It's kind of an inconvenience. So I will be upgrading these probably in the near future as well. Another thing that you guys don't like and I agree with is my mud flap situation. This was always meant to be temporary. In fact, I've got a whole bunch of work to do back here. I gotta cut out these wheel arches some more, and I'll build a proper flap situation. I gotta cut back the front bumper. It's just more work. For now, I'm leaving it because it's functional and I just want to use this truck instead of building it for a little while, but it is definitely on the short list to address this.
That's also the back bumper, not the front bumper.
The back bumper. Another pretty big issue with this that can pretty easily be fixed is the lack of hydro assist. When I have my front locker on, it is nearly impossible to steer this truck with these 40-inch tires. You pretty much go wherever it wants to go, which works but is not ideal. So hydro assist is gonna be a must. The 4-liter Tacoma engine mounts, they seem pretty flimsy, and you can actually hear the motor rocking a bit when you're wheeling, and the fan will actually dig into the shroud, and I'm worried about that causing further issues or possibly hitting the radiator or something like that. Martech Engineering actually makes aftermarket motor mounts for these, and I will definitely have to pick up a set of those in the future.
Yeah, you're good.
Something else I hate about this thing would be the low range. It's slow enough, it's usable, but it needs doublers just to have that bit of extra control. Especially with this 6-speed manual transmission, it's just not enough. As you guys seen me coming off that rock over there, that's just the way she goes with the current transfer case setup. So yeah, lower gears, definitely a necessity.
As a passenger princess, there's a couple of things that I also strongly don't like about the truck. Number one, there's no holy shit handle. How am I supposed to panic? Am I just not allowed to panic? That's my number one thing. Panicking. How am I supposed to panic?
What about that one?
Barely can grab it. I'm too short. And then the other thing I really don't like is the glove box. The button for the glove box. See, I can't even find it. It's over here. It's right there. I can't get into it. How am I supposed to store all of my pretty lip balms and my extra pairs of sunglasses? I can't do it.
Honestly, it was really hard to come up with a list of things I hate about this truck. We love this truck. It's awesome and pretty much every way. But I thought it was only fair to share with you guys the few drawbacks that we have found with the Tacoma.
Yeah, the Tacoma is actually really awesome. It's probably one of my favorites. I mean, my 4Runner's pretty great, though.
Anyways, guys, that about wraps up this week's episode of Dirt Garage, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button, and hey, consider subscribing. We upload weekly Toyota building, wheeling, and off-road content. Anyways, we'll catch you next week. Peace.